on October 31st, 2021.
Dearly beloved, I have gathered you all here today because you are the best of the best.
A crossover event for the ages.
Dane, a Scully, is about 6'7", is wearing a black trench coat and a fashionable fedora that definitely fits his clearly human and not elongated and gray-skinned head very well.
It also, to some, might appear that, like, the back of her skull is missing and perhaps replaced with a series of wires. But that's also makeup. She's in the local theater troupe, so is at all times just trying to really bring people into this world where sometimes people don't have heads.
Pod against the machine.
And Skynet stands about 5'10". He has robust mustache and brown hair that is poorly affixed to his shiny and slightly luminescent tattoo-laden skin. He is wearing a smart salmon-colored shirt under a green sweater with an orange tie showing.
You see a halfling, probably looks like maybe early 30s. His hands are kind of a little creepily long. He's got on a sports coat that is yellow and black houndstooth pattern, and underneath that he has on a salmon button-down shirt with the top two buttons undone, a bright red belt, and a pair of white loafers with no socks.
Dungeon dive bar.
And he smiles at you again, and this time instead of his teeth being creepily white, his eyes are sparkling, kind of anime sparkles. But picture anime sparkles mixed with Steven Universe's star eyes. That's what's happening right now, and it looks much more unsettling when they're combined like that.
And aliens.
I've recruited all of you, my most trusted, most non-alien friends, to be the inaugural class of agents for the Bureau of Research and Investigation of Aliens in Numeria.
They're all dead.
This is Halloween.
With Brian on the case, the aliens will... something that rhymes with case. Go back to space? Yeah. I'll be dead, honestly. I don't know. I'd like to have proof, because...
This is Pod Against the Machine.
Pod Against the Machine. Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pod Against the Machine, the only actual play podcast where castles are presents and friends are food. I'm your host, Sam, and here's everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hello.
That was weird. You guys don't usually
We
all
did
say
it.
hi. This is going to be a bad one.
Howdy, neighbor.
We don't have bad ones, Sam.
That's true. Yet. We've only done 43 of these. This is the one where everybody dies.
Oh, man.
Well, when last we left the very capable four, they'd had a long bout of Vargas punching a ghost until it died. And then they rescued the prisoners who were the real occupants of Algernard's grave, learned that the ghost was indeed Algernard himself, and learned that the Smilers had taken over the place, probably to give it as a gift to the Lords of Rust, who are ruling Scrapwall these days. And they found some horrible things, cracked some jokes about the horrible things, and now it's late at night, and everybody's a little bit depressed about how awful the world of Golarion is. And here we are.
Can we even expect them to help with watches? They're like
That would be
Pretty
mean.
jacked up, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't one
We
to
all go
make
to bed.
them
We're
help.
like, you guys got this, right? Cool.
We're guests.
real tired.
We just hand them those bows we found and say, good luck up on the wall.
We're gonna take one of those in the morning.
We did save you.
I mean, after being bound for that long, it'll be nice to stretch it out, kind of pace back and forth along the battlement.
I do like a dramatic pace.
Yeah, I would not feel good in character or out making any of them help with the watch.
Just prop a bunch of corpses up along the parapets. It's like a really morbid Home Alone.
I was about to say, like Home Alone, move them on the
You know
street.
that scene.
Yeah, we're gonna do watches, I think.
Asher is going to spend 1 hour of his evening working on fixing up one of the 5 broken pistols that has been collected from the Smilers. Could come in handy to have a backup, and he'll try and twirl a gun on an index finger of both hands and accidentally drop one and pick it up embarrassedly and say, I'll work on this perhaps during my watch.
You heard it. Asher's picking up gun twirling.
Brixby grabs Uncle Cracker. No, Crackless. Says, right, so we kind of buried the lead on this, but we've got an unliving corpse that we need to kill every. I am struggling to get through this
Didn't
sentence.
we decide that he's just dying from oxygen deprivation every few minutes in the bag?
All right, never mind. We don't have to tell him at
Just-
all.
you know what? Just kidding. Just
He's
kidding.
floating in a void.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
we
worry about
certainly don't have some sort of undying beast caught in an existential mortal terror void.
That's just one of Brixby's jokes. He's got a weird sense of humor.
Does.
it. You don't see a lot of headline comedians from Chitterhome.
God, yeah, no, I'm glad we didn't have to explain that one. Good that we have the bag to just passively take care of the killing for us. Because it'd be like, yeah, we're totally your saviors. Could you guys do us a favor and just slit this guy's throat every 35 minutes or so?
The trauma is kind of stacking up, of murdering this person over and over again. Are you guys cool with I know you just saw a bunch of dead bodies, but now you're desensitized, right? It's like, not a thing.
I mean, you're welcome, really.
Those guys we killed were cannibals.
Oh,
We could have given him to them if we would have made friends with them. We would have solved 2 problems with one solution.
they could eat for life.
The gift that keeps giving. I know, yeah.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Well, teach a cannibal to fish and he'll stare at you blankly, but give a cannibal a constantly regenerating semi-undead weirdo and he'll eat for a lifetime.
That old adage.
Ah, yes, that old chestnut.
Okay, so let's resurrect Hatchet Hand with the scroll.
Yeah, clearly.
And as a sign of goodwill, we want to form an alliance with the Smilers, who thought we're going to curry favor with the Lords of Rest by destroying a fort, burning it down on the inside in several places, and then saying, here you go.
It's full of dead horses.
It was in really good condition, but now it just needs a little TLC.
It's fixer-upper.
Yeah, don't worry, it's got good bones, considering we ate all the flesh and everything else that was on
Yeah,
them.
you gotta wonder what part
Not
2 of their
just
plan
bones.
was.
Also, if you're bored, there's a ghost that will probably come back every 24 hours.
That's true. Yeah, I love that we're just like, we totally took care of that forever for you guys. Bye.
Nobody tried. They tried exercising it. They didn't try punching it 117 times.
That's a big part of it.
That's what we call a Kelid exorcism.
So we crack a bunch of inappropriate jokes in front of these totally brutalized survivors.
They're like weeping. Sorry, you guys
Yeah,
okay?
this entire conversation, even though we're not using the voices, is happening in character.
And the Crusaders are all just crying.
This is hardened Kira voice. This is like, after I've run enough quests and now I'm mean and scary. She sounds a lot like Izzy. More like Izzy than regular Kira.
I guess going back to the actual story, if Asher and Brixby have already done theirs, Vargas will take third watch.
Yeah, I think I can probably actually scribe a scroll on my watch. So I'm going to do that. quickly double check to make sure we can't pull this out, but I'm pretty sure I can do it over my watch time. I can do it over an hour.
Anything that's gonna happen, like you can just sit on top of the wall and you have like that entire, like I imagine you can probably see miles in every direction. So
Yeah, and
you wouldn't really need to watch too hard. It's just time limit wise.
yeah, it's flat land. You have a good view of the wastes.
Real quick, because you have less spells than Jiro does, Izzy. Can you cast anything else besides shield?
I have magic missile.
Cool.
Does that count?
No, it does. I was just trying to figure out if like giving you a scroll of shield would help out or if it would make more sense to give something to Vargas. But I think I'm gonna do a scroll of shield for you tonight, just because you don't have a lot of. We have like, I don't know, you can cast like 2 a day normally.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe we'll have a 3 a day or 3 combat day. So Brix will spend his evening scroll scribing for his buddy Kira.
Do you want perception checks for our watches?
I'm gonna waive them tonight because it's a nice quiet night, and you guys have been through a lot on this particular day with the gang battle and the ghost battle and the horror.
I'm concerned at your benevolence that you're just you feel bad for what's coming.
Nah, it's pretty much all easy from here. That was the boss of book 2.
You did it.
The ghost.
Wait, which one? The ghost?
Just the ghost. The optional ghost.
I could honestly believe with how much damage that thing was doing that was the boss of book 2.
There's certainly nothing worse than that to come.
Yeah, my notes don't say anything about Ettin's 4-armed monstrosities.
Trolls.
A necromancer who may or may not have eaten the
Oh
hand
my gosh.
of her own lieutenant.
Undead necromancer.
Yeah. I was wondering after we heard about her if she's the one who did whatever the heck has been done to Garmin.
You could roll a knowledge arcana.
Ooh, tight.
Okay.
Not a knowledge planes.
Ooh, I have that one.
Is a 10 on the die for a 18.
Coming in hot with the knowledge rolls, as I always do. The 1 for a 0. I cannot spell the word arcana.
Nice.
Brixbean throws an 18 at it for a 29 in total.
Nice.
Well, with that kind of roll, Brixby's pretty sure that you couldn't get the result that you have with Garmin with straight up arcane necromancy. So if this person is the traditional sort of necromancer wizard, then she probably didn't do this.
Well, my knowledge of the arcane arts is limited. The dark science of bringing the spark back to the corpse doesn't look like what we saw. That's something else beyond my knowledge.
No, I understand that spark is a cantrip. It would certainly require more than that. He just nods knowingly as he works on the battered gun.
Do you think if everyone's sort of headed to bed or doing pre-bedtime things, Kira will find at some point time to walk up to Brix being like, "Hey, I'm sorry I made fun of your bee allergy. Are you okay?"
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
He stops. He puts down the piece of paper and the scribe that he's holding. Puts away the scroll that he's copying off of.
Says, I'm not a brave man, Kira. I've never said I was. That situation, that's green. Just shook the deepest parts of me.
And he looks down.
I don't know if I can be counted on in situations like that in the future. I'm sorry.
You came back. That's not nothing. I mean, you could have just left us. You just kind of took a quick walk.
It's true, but I shudder to think that if that ghost wasn't locked in that room, what my cowardice would have done. I'm fine. I appreciate it, and actually working on a token of appreciation for you right now.
And Brixby takes a second to, change the subject, point down, kind of be like,
See how when I mix this into the ink.
even though there aren't any material components for shield, but we're just going to do this for fun.
Right, and then I just spread it into, right, as just like so. It's, when you read this, it should just work. No hand motions, no nothing.
Kira's suspicious, but is able to tell. There's a clear subject change here. She looks down at the paper and looks up at him. Thanks. Thanks, Brix.
Yeah, right.
Just goes back and is unfolds everything, kind of puts stuff on the edges of the paper. What horrors visit us in the night, Sam? It's too quiet.
Now the night passes quietly, and we already know that the weather is clear. We pass over into, I want to say, the 19th of Eridus. Yeah, the 19th of Eridus. Morning comes. Somewhere in the distance, a rooster crows, and it's the day to go to Scrapwall, I think.
It's actually
just
Nathan.
a river away. Oh, Nathan crows.
A horrible gurgling, oozy noise to let everyone know that it's morning. We've come accustomed to it over time.
Sure.
Just imagining him sliming his way up one of the walls of the tower to do it at the highest point,
Totally.
like a rooster would.
It's like someone gargling Jello.
Oh, okay.
I knew it would get it at least.
That old familiar sound.
Oh man, I really tried to not. That was shocking. I feel taken aback.
So when morning comes, and everybody's sort of up for the day, Thetis will come over to the lot of you and say, so you're to be going on to Scrapwall then?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're welcome to return to the fort whenever you need a safe place to rest. I'm sorry we can't offer any amenities at this time, but our gates will always open for all of you. We can keep your horses here and look after them for the time being. I'm sorry I can't offer anything better as payment for our lives at this time, but you have our eternal gratitude.
Just make sure that those horses eventually make their way back to Torch. We had to put a rather large deposit down on them.
Do you want me to keep them here for you, or send them back to Torch?
Keep them here for us if you're able. We are hoping to return to Torch following our excursion to Scrapwall with news, or perhaps even the company of one we were sent to find. A much more enjoyable journey on our trusted steeds.
Yes, well then they'll be here waiting for you.
Yeah, we didn't opt for the insurance, despite being encouraged to, so try to keep them 5 feet from each other. Nathan's got enough dings and scratches as is.
Before we depart...
No, go for it. I was just going to make a stupid joke.
No, I'd really rather like to
It's
hear
too
it.
late now.
I think it's okay. We can pretend we never said
It'd
No,
be better if
no,
you
I-
explained it too. Just didn't
I
even
don't
make it,
even
just-
remember. I don't even remember what it was going to be. It was truly dreadful. Probably.
Before we depart, we wouldn't presume to take any of your provisions with us without your consent. We would wonder, though, if we could perhaps purchase one of those...
I'm not familiar with Bleedle.
I apologize, that's the Duwar word for longbow. No, I can't possibly replicate that. I'm broken. Wondered if we could purchase one of those longbows off of you for young Kira here.
You can take one for nothing. Certainly, we owe you much more than that. We have more bows than soldiers, I suspect.
Do you want a sticker?
Well, that is... Ooh, there we go. I'm sorry for the cannibalistic loss of much of your garrison and close friends, but cheer up, reinforcements are on the way, both emotionally and literally.
It's literally the last one of those I have. You can have it.
It's a sticker that says, cheer up, reinforcements are on the way.
It's a sticker that says, I'm sorry for everything that Asher just said.
Sorry your friends got eaten.
Cheer up, reinforcements are on the way.
Oh, that's oddly specific. It's almost as if you'd planned this ahead of time.
We just have a very good craft store at home.
Ah.
And also Michael's.
Oh no.
Shade.
The shade.
Fantasy shade, so it's okay.
Well, that is certainly generous of you, Captain. While you won't accept it as payment, I would nevertheless leave a donation. The work that you do here in offering shelter to those in need is a noble one, and whatever we can contribute to the cause of seeing that resume sooner would be my pleasure to do so.
Thank you for your generosity.
What are we giving him?
We'll edit that in post. I'd have to look at the loot sheet.
The grippers. just the grippers. Like the most useless bit.
Look, you'll know what to do with these at the right time.
Just hands the tongs over.
Use them to grip my dead
Cut
friends.
to them just tossing a garden salad. They're just like, I guess this was...
This is the best salad we've ever had.
This is a mundane buckler, and we'll spare one potion of thick Pepto.
I'll just give them the garbage Seth left behind.
Say, let's give them 118 goo tubes.
No, are you kidding me? Why would we give those away?
Yeah, no, just give them a couple of the charcoal crunch. I want to keep most of the other ones, but I'm tired of that. Dyes my teeth black.
We need the goo tubes. I used up the last of my rations from my character creation yesterday.
Yeah, me too.
There's no escaping the goo tubes.
They also double as gold bond.
We appreciate your hospitality. I'm very sorry we didn't show up sooner. It pains me to say, but I'd encourage you to amend your policy of admittance. Numeria is a cruel place, my friends.
We are duty bound to keep our doors open whenever possible for travelers, but I believe temporarily at least we will be limiting those we allow in. Hopefully the strife in Scrapwell will calm soon enough.
As I said last night, we intend to remove the disease.
Yeah, we're like pretty capable too, so.
We all flip around to show off our super cool jackets. So many swears I could have said there. But they are great. They are great jackets.
Yes, custom made at Michael's, the finest craft store in all of Numeria.
Kira says nothing but looks incredibly hurt.
I like to think that you both are individually sponsored. Like Sam has just separately in your player channels just been like, all right, much like Pathfinder factions, you are Michael's and you are Joanne's.
And that's the true conflict of the podcast.
The only iron gods. Iron on gods.
Nice.
Oh, brilliant.
How far away are we from Scrapwell?
Just a mile or so. If you hike down to the river, there's a dinghy there that you can use to forge your way across, and then you'll be at the foot of it. There's an entrance. It's a bit hard to find, but along the western side of it, there's sort of a cutout in the wall of garbage, and a building there with a gate. They say there's other ways in, but that's the only one I've seen.
So, both, I'd love to hear what they say about the gate, as well as anything you've heard about the other ways in.
Well, the gate was controlled by the Steelhawks. I have no idea who controls it now, but it was a source of power for them, being able to control who comes and goes. As far as secret ways in and out, I haven't the foggiest. I mean, there's always You could climb it, one would guess, but it doesn't look safe from the outside.
Yeah, we are certainly. I can't even imagine what our average climb skill is. I know I'm like not counting Asher's like propensity to just Michael Jordan on top of things, but like we can't climb, right, gang? That's like still not our thing.
I got a +5.
So Brixby still can't climb, right, gang?
-2, baby.
I mean, no, I had a pretty decent climb score when we all failed those things, so I don't know. Maybe.
I will just grappling hook to the top.
Oh my god, I forgot about the back grapple. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll turn any climb into a DC-5 if he can put a rope up against it. That'd be an auto pass for, I'm guessing, 3 of us. What are you, Izzy? What's your plus?
That's a good question. I'm going to say a +3.
Samesies.
Oh, gosh.
Which means not an auto pass.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Cool.
But I mean, anything but a natural 2.
True.
Well, as we mentioned last night, we've heard the Steelhawks might be a potential ally in the chaos that lies north. We hope that they still man the gates, but seems contingencies are wise to have.
He looks to Asher.
He is our contingency in all settings.
Hello. And, Captain, you should know that I'm confident the Dawnflower is pleased and you make her proud. You've survived horrors, but, well, you make her proud.
Why, thank you, Asher. Those are kind words indeed. May the Dawnflower smile upon all of you.
So I think we're going to leave. Sorry that everybody got eaten and we killed your ghost friend.
Ah, the ghost will be back.
I'm sure there's a sticker for that.
That's true.
They'll raise the portcullis and let you go. Very dramatic.
Thank you, Nathan.
Nathan burbles in response.
You're so full of skulls this morning, my boy. Yeah, so I give an affectionate pat to the ooze known as Nathan. And head out the portcullis, giving him the end of the Hulk movie look back 2 or 3 times.
Nathan will return in book 3.
Little do you know, these were Smilers all along, and they're going to eat the horses.
No.
Oh, man.
And plus, Hetoath is still there, so there's always that. So, yeah, the way from here to Scrapwall is clear and easy. Doesn't take too long. You got to get across a calm stretch of river. Once you get to the other side, I'd say a realization sweeps over all of you at the same time. It's that Scrapwall might be the most apt name for a place that you've ever heard. Brixby, you're used to the caverns of Chitterhome, the mostly underground maze of tunnels, where it's impossible to tell if the path you're taking is a natural cave or an ancient mechanical structure or some combination of the two, and the sheer scale of the wreckage is difficult to wrap your mind around. But now, the wall in front of you that stands close to the river, instead of being buried under the earth, this wall stands at least 30 feet high and in many places far higher, and stretches as far as the eye can see to the east and west, thousands of feet at least. It's all garbage. Towers of rusted iron and hills of rubble and ruin, long ago divested of anything of remote value by tech-hungry scavengers. You can see immense lengths of chain, coils of jagged wire, giant clockwork gears, the crushed head of a gearsman wedged impossibly tightly into a wall 15 feet off the ground, and old corrugated metal cargo containers riddled with gashes, bullet holes, and the telltale pockmarks of laser fire, piled so high in an ocean of rust so thick that you can smell the oxidation in the air, mixing with just this general sense of decay. In one sense, it looks like a stiff breeze could cause an avalanche and tear the whole wall to the ground. In another, it looks like a puzzle that settled together so perfectly over thousands of years that it would stand through another rain of stars. 100 yards or so to the west of here, looks like there's the entrance that Thetis told you about, the low outcropping of scrap that looks like it leads to an indentation. There's a gap in the scrap. Welcome, everyone, to Scrapwall. What do you do?
That was good. Rixby turns to the group and says,
Sure hope the Steelhawks control that gate. Make getting in a lot easier, it seems.
Well, there's only one way to find out. I guess I suppose there are multiple ways. Come to think of it, why don't we find out by approaching it ourselves?
Yeah, I like that one. That's a good way.
Yeah.
Which I assume we do by standing right at the edge of the map.
Gonna pop a
Wow.
map up on your screen. This is just to give you a little bit of an idea of what you're looking at. This scrap wall, as I said, is 30 feet high at the lowest, and it's about 3 miles wide. It's like a city where the outer wall is made of garbage.
looks like it's night in there, too.
I'll pop you over to a new map where if you follow the outcropping around, you find an indentation in the rock where there is a building cobbled together from cargo containers, and then there's a gap in between, about 20-25 feet wide, where there is a gate there. A gate that appears to be of human construction. This pair of ramshackle buildings with walls and roofs. The roofs on top of them look like they're made of strips of leather and fur, and the whole thing is just junk slapped together and bolted together, and it's blocking the way forward. That was very articulate. I know it.
Well, being as this is a crazy town full of gangs and an arena that may or may not sometimes be a fighting pit to the death, I don't think this is any place for the meek. I say we, stride up there like we belong.
Agreed.
And Asher will just walk right up to the gate.
When you come out to the gate, a door beyond it opens up. A man comes out of the building that's on your left, his right. Another one will come out sort of behind him, stand by the door. And they'll say, hello there. What can I do for you?
Hello indeed. We seek entrance into Scrapwall to test our mettle in the Scrapmaster's arena.
This is probably the wrong time to come to Scrapwall. If you're here for adventure, you'd best turn around. Head back the way you came.
Oh, it sounds like perhaps a different flavor of adventure is to be found inside these walls. Why do you say this is the wrong time to come? We didn't travel all this way to simply turn around, come back later.
Never mind why. I say it's a bad time, it's a bad time.
Well, perhaps we could continue this conversation on the other side of these bars. Why not you allow us entrance and we can decide for ourselves whether we'd like to stay or go? And I'll make a diplomacy roll. Natural 16 on the orange creamsicle for a 26.
The one guy's gonna go back to talk to the other guy. And that guy, like the kind of a hushed conversation between the two of them, and then that guy goes north and disappears into the other building. If you'll give us a moment, we'll have the boss see what she wants to do here.
What was the Steelhawks dude's name? It was a dude, right?
Mauricio.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, did these people have any sort of identifiable, like we have the cool jackets. Do they have any like pins or jackets or regalia that I could roll on to see if I knew what gang they might be associated with?
Doesn't look like you see any particularly cool jackets just now.
Are any of them dressed similar to Mianda's group?
No, they're very much like clad in kind of furs and animal teeth and stuff, like sort of a much more of a Kelid look, if not styled particularly tribally.
Yeah, so we can assume that at least they're probably not Lords of Rust.
Or smilers, because their faces are normal.
Or just
Yeah,
your standard face.
They definitely still have lips.
Asher will nod and say, "Of course, we'll wait right here. We won't be going anywhere quite yet. Happy to discuss this with the boss."
Kira will have a whispered conversation with Asher just to make that guy feel as excluded as she just did. to prove a point.
Yes, I don't really understand why you prefer Joanne's when both the selection and the prices were superior at Mike.
And I do understand what you're saying, and thank you so much for that support, but I just really think that we haven't been able to find the level of sticker specificity at Michael's as we have at Joanne's.
Yes, well, agree to disagree, I suppose. For now, we can continue this conversation later.
It's the boss! That's how I'm choosing to segue this conversation now.
Yeah, and then out of that building comes a woman, and she's flanked by 3 more people. And I will, let's see if I can pop up. That's the generic guy token. I don't want the generic guy token.
Ooh.
There.
That looks like a hawk etched onto her face.
And a steely gaze.
Just look real hockey.
Yes, perhaps she's with the Iron Falcons.
So this woman comes out with the small group of people, and the guy sort of manning the gate steps off to the side, and they all come down showing real numbers there, and she goes,
Adventurers, eh? What is it? You wanna fight in the Scrapmaster's arena? Is that what I'm hearing?
That is sort of the means to an end, but is it customary that one must disclose all of one's business simply to gain entry into Scrapwall? I mean no disrespect, but yes, the arena is one of our goals.
I got a position here. I gotta make sure that we don't let anyone in who would cause issues for our little system. Just gotta make sure to vet people, and right now it's times are tough. You know, you gotta understand. You gotta make sure that if you're coming in, then you're not gonna cause any trouble for me and mine.
What kind of system is it?
she smiles and looks over at Kira. She says, well, it's complicated. It's complicated. But, you don't look like crusaders. Well, you know that much.
We're adventurers. We're very capable.
Sure. Of course you are. Why don't you come on in here and we'll have a conversation. And she slaps one of them in the back of the head and says, open the gate, will ya? And he'll run over and run back in the building to open the gate. And she'll say, come on back into my office. Even though my voice just changed. And, we'll see if we can figure things out here.
Acceptable terms, yes.
And she'll lead the way up into the eastern building here, south into an office. Yeah, so you pass through the front gate and over into like a common room. It looks like there's like a card table. Looks like it's probably where people eat and stuff. And then if you go east through there, it's a bunkhouse. There's a bunch of bunk beds in there, and people's clothes and stuff. And then south through there is a large room that looks like they keep junk and supplies and stuff in there. And it looks like this is where she's made a little bit of an office for herself. And she says, so, coming to Scrapwall on an adventure. Sounds like a good time to me. Sound like a good time to you, Clarence? And she looks over at the guy standing in the corner, and he kind of shrugs. And she says, yeah, sounds like a party. I don't think you'll find this place as friendly as you might have expected it. So, tell me, what is it you're really after?
So I know the token certainly looked steel hockey. Could I roll on any on her iconography?
Yeah,
or is
you
it
could
just
do
like,
it knowledge
she's
local.
Steelhawk? 11 total.
Nice. Well, you don't know with any sort of surety what gang she might be affiliated with.
Brixbean threw a 12 for a 21.
With a 21, I'd say probably Brixby, since he's from close enough to this place. He can recognize a Steelhawk's tattoo when he sees it. And yeah, it looks like she is indeed a Steelhawk.
Brixby's going to say, From what I've heard, over at Chitterhome, it's never really a good time to pass through these walls. Look, we came here seeking Steelhawks. We've heard they'd be allies. Now listen to the man.
Looks back at Asher.
Yes, a friend of ours said, should you go to Scrapwall, perhaps one Verigio may be one to listen to reason.
Well, I'm afraid you just missed him. Old Verigio's dead. Head chopped off. So, guess we all lose there.
By whom?
And when?
A couple months back. Nice lady with a chainsaw. She goes by the name Kulgara.
Oh, what?
I've heard of her. A barbarian.
Yeah, you could call her that.
I'm sorry, a what?
It's like a sword, right? But, the blade goes around and around and around. And it's made of a bunch of little blades.
So as he's saying this,
And it'll chew you up.
he's just turning his head towards Kira with this like terrible smile on his face.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
I didn't catch your name. I'm called Asher.
Well, hello, Asher. My name is Sevroth, and, what you see before you is what remains of the Steelhawks, besides our fearless leader. She spits on the ground after she says that.
Do you not get along? Didn't get along?
Well, I should be the leader, now that Verigio's dead, but, things are complicated these days.
Who's the leader now?
Guy who goes by Bird Food.
What?
Truly a name to strike terror.
Used to be a smiler.
Rixby's gonna voluntarily take the shaking condition at that person's name.
You said he's a smiler, but is now running what's left of the Steelhawks. Why, we just encountered a few smilers the other day. Yesterday, in fact. They won't be returning from their excursion. You see, we may have a common enemy.
This, birdseed he didn't happen to only have one hand, did he?
Oh no, he's got all his hands. One of those creepy smiles with the lips cut out. But he's, and she'll do finger quotes, not a smiler anymore, right?
We've helped plenty of people no longer be smilers. I think that's the business we're in right now. Now, it sounds like we might have something that we could help you out with. We've, got some experience dispatching the Happy.
Well, that is very interesting. I'm listening.
We cleared an entire garrison without nary a scratch.
It's just maybe for Brixby, not everyone else, but hey, it's still truthful.
So, I think
You want to roll a bluff check?
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to.
Very few scratches.
That's a natural 20 for a
Hey.
28.
This guy punched a ghost.
Wow. Yeah, she does not have the sense motive to beat that check, certainly.
all I can say is that we've wiped plenty an inappropriate facial gesture off of someone's countenance. Be happy to do that for you as well. We need friends inside the walls, see?
This sounds like this may be a singular opportunity to benefit us all. Tell you what. If you're so good at getting rid of smilers, Clarence, get out of here. And she sends the other guy out of the room.
It's nice to meet you, Clarence. I mean, yeah. You heard the woman.
Like I was saying, if you're so good at getting rid of smilers, you take care of that smiler bird food for me. Remove him from the operation so I can have my gang back. You got yourself some allies in the Steelhawks. We can help you get around this place, maybe. Help you get your bearings.
And where are we to find this jovial individual?
Oh, well, he's camped out a little ways north of here. Well, you gotta cut through Steelhawks territory, which is most of the area right behind this gate here, and a little ways up to the north, about half a mile, you'll find Hawk Palace. And he's taking it for his own blasphemy that he's running the place when it should be in Steelhawk hands. And he's got supposedly ex-smilers up there with him, along with orcs sent over from the Lords of Rust to keep him company.
Ugh. Lords of Rust. I hear they've been causing trouble.
We'll give you back your aviary. Will we find any trouble between here and there?
And there's bound to be wandering people, but shouldn't be too much anything. It's our territory, and our numbers ain't what they used to be.
Just wondering if an escort will get us closer to our goal.
Yeah, I'm afraid for appearance purposes, I can't be furnishing that just now.
That's fair.
Can we have a receipt? Or an affidavit?
Yeah, can we have a written note of treason? Please. Just like it's a hall pass, but for treason.
We're supposed to be here in some sense of the
It's
word.
real embarrassing.
I was thinking perhaps, not necessarily in place of the written note. I don't mean to put down Kira's idea. It was a good one, yes. But alternatively, perhaps, what if you or our friend Clarence, somebody were to take us to Hawk Palace as prisoners, perhaps? And then, I've heard this is a time-honored technique where we escape from our false bonds and are then able to rightfully secure Hawk Palace for you and your true Steelhawks.
Looks Asher over and shrugs and says, sure, why not? As long as it can't get back to me that this was any of my business, then knock yourselves out. Pretend to be whatever you want.
Do you have any other information that might help this change of leadership?
Bird foods? He's got birds. They do his bidding for him. So, I ain't seen him in action, but from what I understand, it's ugly. And, he's just as crazy as the rest of those smilers, so there's always that. I suppose that's all I know about him, but,
Do you know what kind of birds?
probably
Are they
hawks,
small?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I mean, they're big enough to take a bite out of you. I don't know. I don't know birds.
I'll take that note. Birds large enough to bite.
As we all know in Numeria, birds aren't able to take bites out of you until they're of a certain size, so that
Yeah.
makes sense.
These
Smaller
sound
creatures just
public
can't do
park geese at this point. Just willing to screw you all the way up and die. in
Yeah,
the
they just make
process.
a horrible honking noise, and they just won't leave you alone.
Sort of like how the Queen of England supposedly owns all of the swans in the country. He owns all of the geese in Scrapwall.
He would.
Classic
There's
bird
so
food.
many. The Numeria geese. Oh my god, there's so many.
Numeria Geese is my fourth favorite Emilio Estevez movie.
The Mighty Duck guy, I swear.
Well, looks like it's time to meet the boss, eh?
Is Brixby in the room?
Yeah, he's on the pile of trash.
Yeah, he's on a pile of trash.
He's super stoked to be in a big pile of garbage.
Oh, way in the
he
corner.
is in his element right now, friend. Yep.
Well, and Kingsley has crime syndicate experience when she took over the Rope Fists.
That's fair. It's canon.
Don Kingsley did most of this negotiation for us. Whispered clacks. Yeah, let's go depose a gang lord, eh?
Yeah, she'll send Clarence along with you.
Yes.
Clarence the Mighty.
Clarence, let's go murder.
Poor Clarence. All right, guys. Let's go this way. And he'll
Cheer up, Clarence.
he'll lead the way north and up through Steelhawk's territory, which is kind of the southernmost part of Scrapwall, and it's fairly abandoned right now. So you have like makeshift dwellings that people have propped up against the walls and stuff, but not really anyone giving you trouble until Clarence leads you up to this crossroads where there's piles of junk lining the streets, and the walls of junk to your left and right, walls of junk up ahead, and a group of orcs straight across from you. And Clarence will stop where he is and say, hi, hey, what's going on here? And one of the orcs will say, official, Steelhawks patrol. State your business in Steelhawks territory. And the rest of the orcs kind of close in. And Clarence goes, Steelhawk. They're all... And he looks back at you guys like, are you guys... You supposed to be Steelhawk? I'm not sure. Does anyone want to help Clarence out here? He's a little bit flabbergasted.
Asher will just spit on the ground and say, Sevroth couldn't handle us, so apparently only Birdfeed is the one to render judgment on us for trying to break through the gate. And I'll roll a bluff. Natural freaking 20 for a
I also
27.
aided in the interim in roll 20 for another 2.
Wow. Oh,
So bluffed.
the lead orc is like, so you're prisoners? I don't think I understand what's going on here. You're taking them to bird food? Clarence is right. Like, yeah, we gotta take them to the boss, right? To bird food the boss. Bird food. Big
Bird
boss
food
man
boss.
They
bird
call him
food.
Big Bird.
Gotta respect the pecking order.
Brixby, no, we're prisoners.
Oh, wait, yeah, sorry. We're not allowed puns.
That's the first rule.
We're so sad to be captured.
They still have their sense of humor. Get
That's
them.
the first rule of being a prisoner, is that you cannot crack jokes.
Yeah.
That's all we have.
That rat is armed with wit.
Said we'll end up just like Verigio, but they can't take us down.
The orcs will go, you need any help? There's 4 of them. And you don't seem like the brightest torch in the cave.
We're stupider and complacent.
Yeah, you do seem pretty stupid. Right, guys? And then another orc goes, yeah, he looks real stupid. And another one goes, all of them look real stupid. Yeah, it's the very stupid 4. They all point and laugh. So it looks like you are all free to be on your way. It's the anonymity has allowed you to pass through this encounter. So you find yourselves standing in front of a another ramshackle structure built out of wood, bits and scrap metal, other items of refuge scavenged from the surrounding campaign, with big hawk insignias sort of carved into scrap metal or painted on the walls in seemingly random locations. But that looks like a non-trivially sized building, and Clarence will stop there and say, so here we are. We really doing this?
Clarence, you've played your part admirably. We only ask that you lead us a few rooms farther to Bird Food himself.
Yeah, let's talk in more hawking.
All right, guys.
We appreciate you, Clarence.
This way. I'll lead you over to the stairwell over here, off to your right.
As are our hands tied? Pretend? Did we say
Do
that?
you want to do pretend hands tied or real hands tied?
Or for real?
It would definitely be more convincing with real hands tied.
I'm sure it would.
Yeah. But the way that your voice sounds
It'd be
makes
more
me
convincing
think,
if you
let's
let
not
Clarence
do
kill
that.
one of you.
Well, yeah, I
one
just
of
think
you.
if
Yeah, I mean, just...
if Clarence really just beat each of you to 5 hit points or less and then tied you up, that would probably be best for everyone.
Yeah. I'm going to go with not really tied up because I'm also not letting him take my weapons. I'm down for deception, but I'm not going so far that, if someone's going to examine my hands, they're also going to be like, that's a well-armed prisoner. I also like to imagine the tiny little thing tying Kingsley's paws together.
Peace bond the scorpion claws.
Just repurpose the ribbon.
Just hog-tied. Asher does have his hands zip-tied behind his back with ion tape and is canonically holding a zip stick in his hands.
Very, very canonically sneaky.
We do have one more zip stick if somebody else wants to be part of Team Wookiee.
That feels like a deck something or other that I just don't have the anything for.
Wish I had. There's a cantrip that does an electric spark that is super uncommon, and it's not on any freaking spell list.
Oh, Jolt.
Jolt.
Yes.
Yeah, Jolt's a weird one.
Yeah.
It is a really
I
weird
wish
one.
I had that because Brix and I then could use that, and we'd have enough stuff with the 2 zip sticks and the 2 of us that we could actually do it that way, and that would be perfect.
Just like an arc lightning will be fine.
Yeah,
Sadly, that
shocking grasp on that, right?
Sadly, that 1d3 electricity damage cantrip is a closely guarded technically secret, I think.
I know.
It's the third rarest spell in the game. It's ridiculous.
I think we're going to get through this door and, no longer are we going to be able to be deceptive. Pretty quickly. It'd be tight if we could make it all the way in there, but I just am kind of under the assumption that once we're inside, any room that we make it through is good news.
Well, Clarence will approach the 2 orcs that are stationed on the stairs here and let them know, delivering prisoners to bird food. They, Crusaders, they tried to break in, and the orcs look at him and look down at the prisoners and say, why, she still got that big sword? Clarence is like, well, they're really dumb, and they're not tough at all, so it's fine. Orc says, is that true? You're not tough at all?
Yes.
Yes.
It's true.
I have a strength penalty.
Me too.
Well, they got strength penalties.
Just a feeble old man, as you can see.
I'm a child.
That one's only got the one arm. His other arm's made of garbage.
I am a literal rat. Are you afraid of me?
He's allergic to bees, but like sensitive about it. So
Well, canonically, we do have a bunch of bees in here, so that's good.
Hey, his name wasn't Bee Food. I wouldn't have agreed to be arrested.
What do birds eat? Birds eat bees.
They're going to explain the birds and the bees to us.
Oh no.
All right, that's the rest of the up. Go, Sam.
The orcs will step out of the way and go like, all right, I guess head in. Clarence will go, oh, all right, prisoners. Come on. To prison.
Here we go.
We're going to lock you up. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be torture.
So
I can't
bad.
even tell if he's going to torture us or not at this point.
You wouldn't
He's just...
believe the bad stuff we got in store for you. We're gonna kick you.
Like, he's on our side, right?
We're gonna kick you twice.
I don't know if he is.
Like in the...
That feels excessive,
And I
but
kick you in the leg.
Oh, I need those.
Maybe
The
we'll
leg?
kick you in the heart.
what?
Yeah. Right in the heart. And he leads you
I don't
down.
know why that found that so funny.
He'll lead you down the stairs into a courtyard where there are several more orcs, or a couple more orcs, and some smilers. Because it's been too long since we've seen smilers. Clarence goes, oh, hey, I was just telling these dumb prisoners about how I'm gonna kick them in the hearts. And one of the smilers goes, we didn't hear anything about any prisoners. Clarence says, I have no idea what you just said, man. Not the slightest clue.
Just nods and laughs. That thing that you do when you don't know what someone says. You're like, oh, totally.
Totally.
And the
But it's a question.
the half orc says, he said this ain't supposed to be any prisoners. What's all this about?
now this comes as a gift, apparently, to Bird Food himself. Sevroth said that only he was smart enough and strong enough to make an example out of us. Whatever that means, I'm super dumb.
You do sound pretty dumb.
Caught us jumping over the gate.
And Bricks, there's a 16 for a 25 bluff.
Seems like we should have learned that the Steelhawks were watching. Guess we'll learn now. Oh.
Asher aids.
27. Lying squad.
With an 11, by the way, so not by a whole lot.
And they'll let you keep on going. Open up the door. Leads down to another passageway in this very strangely laid out building that just like, I guess when you make a building out of garbage, you take what you can get. And Clarence will lead the way south down this weird corridor. No, you're going towards the room with the door. You don't want to go towards the room with the door. You want to go in this weird corridor over here. The door would make too much sense.
What?
Yeah. You're going you're going in this weird narrow hallway
Why is it looping in on itself?
that goes up and around.
We're gonna end up like right here after about 5 more turns.
Yeah, you go out in the outside of the building and you wrap all the way around back to where you just were, but inside now.
Is this like one of those things where they built, I don't know, ancient Greek structures to catch wind and make the rest of the house cool, except for instead of that, it makes the house confusing?
Well, the thing you need to know about the Steelhawks is that their original leader before Vareggio was the Widow Winchester.
I was just about to make a Winchester joke. That is ridiculous.
See, I was going to say their original leader was the guy that wrote House of Leaves, but I couldn't think of what his name is.
Daniel something?
Yeah.
Day Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's really bugging me now.
He retired from acting and wrote House of Leaves.
Yeah, they say he spent 6 months as a leaf before writing it, too. Method acting. Can't beat it.
Mark Danielewski.
Oh, we got Daniel.
We were so close. Go team.
We know books.
Time to meet Birdbath.
So Clarence will stop outside the door after this profoundly long and pointless hallway and say, he's probably in there. That's where Verigio used to hang out, so, you guys got it from here, right?
All right, hear me out on this. Kick the door open, throw in a grenade, close the door, and then go in after and begin initiative.
Yeah. We have
And then we
flash
go
grenades, right?
And then we open the second door that's 5 feet after
Oh my
this
god,
door.
you're totally right. That was
Really
absolutely-
embarrassed about what happened.
But we really showed that second door.
And we say, see, we're so dumb.
SEAL team oops.
I do actually really like the idea of throwing one of our flash grenades in there.
We've also got that cuddle grenade. What was it? Soft grenade that does 5d6 points of non-lethal.
It's 5d points of
The
hugs.
cuddliest 5d6 hugs.
Forgot that's what that one was called. Soft grenade.
Clarence, wouldn't it seem strange for prisoners to be just left on their own?
Oh, Clarence is gonna
You-
die.
So we should let him go.
You could just open the door and say something like,
It appears to already be gone.
we'll leave these for you to deal with. Instead of us just opening doors saying, hello, we're
We made it.
prisoners. This feels a bit strange.
Getting the sense that this is going to end badly for me.
We would never let anything happen to you.
Oh, I'm
Clarence.
getting the sense we're all going to be murdered.
Clarence, I'm gonna take the pin out of this thing and hand it to you. And then I just want you to go through the door.
Poor Clarence.
Goodbye.
Are you making Clarence open the door?
You should at least open the door.
Yeah.
Or
All right, hold on.
poor Clarence.
I am going to... I'm going to cast at least Mage Armor on myself right now. I'm going to cast Mage Armor and Shield. I'm going to take a second. Fake untie my hands, cast some stuff, retie my hands.
Can anyone cast any buffs on me?
Nope.
Any,
Just
No.
hold this.
just a little buff? I don't even have a shirt.
Asher would not have had let Vargas leave an Ender Scrapple at half health. So you've been one booped up to nearly full. Or full. We'll take care of it off air.
Kira sees.
Whoops, I'm at -1.
Oh,
I hit remove instead of add.
classic. Kira sees Bricks do a shield and will also do shield. I guess,
Shielded up.
like, with, does it make more sense to use a spell or a paper?
Save this scroll until you, like, have no whatevers, basically, is usually how I usually... Yeah, usually.
Clarence, why don't you open the door, shove me in, Dan will fall to the ground, and you just say, these prisoners are a gift from Sevroth, and you can just walk away. It'll be like a power move, and it will greatly increase your chances of survival.
Okay, if you guys think that that's not going to get me horribly murdered.
That's our primary concern in all of this, is your safety.
You have a bright future, Clarence.
We're the very considerate four.
Kira will give him a sticker that says brave.
He puts it
Not long for this world.
he puts it on his bare chest because he doesn't have a shirt.
Oh, no.
Just walks through with the sticker.
Don't worry, this is a +5 sticker. You're comfortable.
And as he reaches for the doorknob, sweating with the total sweat gift just dripping down his face, I'm going to bed.
Night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Yeah, saw that one coming.
Pod against the machine.
Plot Against the Machine is property of its creators, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are properties of Paizo Publishing. Please visit them at paizo.com for more information. Theme Against the Machine, written and performed by our own Zach. Please consult the show notes for additional music and sound effect licensing information.
Are these two guys like sleeping, or are they just chilling in beds?
They're resting. Maybe they're sleeping.
Oh.
Maybe they're, hanging
I'm
out.
sorry.
Maybe they're reading or writing poetry.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Wait, that's not the door.
Sorry we barged in. What a bummer to have a door in your bedroom, huh? That also leads to another place.
Oh, yeah, it's the worst.
If it feels like they could have an office door right here and not have to walk through the sleeping quarters every time you want to go to her office.
It kind of feels like a power move on her
is.
part, and I don't know.
Look at how sleepy
I don't
all of
love
my men
it.
are. They're well rested. Let's go.
Yeah, come through at all hours of the night, banging pots and pans. Gotta keep them on their toes. Talking about you, Clarence.
Oh, Clarence, buddy.